Okay, we are live at 11:05. IMBC, Spirit Cars here. Josh, the voice of Spirit Cars, behind the camera, adjusting a knob right now. But there he goes. We got the two-finger. What are you, a Corvette guy now?
Yeah.
Isn't that? No, it's a whatever. So we're there. I'm going to start off with a disclaimer. I am not the motor guy around here. I know how to make one work, I suppose. I guess I could build one, I suppose. But there are some guys that are good at what they do. I can fumble through. I've been working on this one. We got our valve covers finally, pretty exciting. Generally this is not my part of the job, but everybody else has got projects going on, so I just kind of jumped on this one this morning. And I've been putting the plug wires on. So I figured, all right, I'll save one for 11 o'clock, 11:05, and I'll show you how to do one. Generally, I mean pretty fundamentally on the motor, you're creating a contained explosion. And it's got to go somewhere, so it pushes that piston down, and you change the direction with the crank, and you send it down the drive shaft, and you change the direction again with the differential, and you turn your rear wheels, and all you got to do is make that thing explode 8 times. On this case, it's a V8 in the right order. If you explode in the wrong order, you got one pushing down and another one pushing down, and they're pushing against each other. You really need to make sure that they go in the order that it says to go. Again, me not being a motor guy, most guys on a small block Chevy will tell you, 1, 3, 5, 7, whatever, and it'll tell you where it goes. Josh has done me a favor here. In big print, I like that. Google is an amazing thing. I said, Josh, give me the firing order for a small block. And he just printed this off of some website. And it's big print even. I didn't even need to use my glasses for it. So, as it goes around the distributor, I don't know if you can see that, 1, 8, 4, 3, 5, 7, 2. It needs to be in that order. What you can do is you can turn that distributor a little bit, and let's see me do that right now. See how I can turn this distributor? It's not totally in, but I'm adjusting it for the timing by doing that. What we like to do is if we take the number 1 spark plug, and the number 1, if that is aiming to the number 1 plug there, it's just a good way to start. It gets you the distributor straight. We're using an HEI distributor. We don't have any problems with the motors that we've been building using the HEI distributor. You don't have to have the coil and all that and the points, and works out really well. Like it. Good. So we got that. How do I know where the distributor goes in? Well, you basically have a 50-50 chance. You want to get your number 1 cylinder top dead center, and that's either going to be right or it's going to be 180 off. So once you get that, you want to get it in this. There's some gears in there. It slips into the gears. Once you can see this is not in yet, and it's not into the gears, but it'll slip into those gears. And if it's aiming towards that, and you start with your number 1 cylinder there with the number 1 spark plug, you're good to go. If you get everything all in, going, you're adjusting, it's not firing, but it's backfiring a lot, really good chance you got your distributor in 180 off. Go down and come back up one time with your motor, and then it'll be fine. So we're there. We got all the wires going. We've loomed them up. I like to keep them nice. I'll tidy these up with some maybe wire ties or some chrome looking loom things as it goes into that. I'll loom all this. Again, we've got a regulator on our carburetor. Need to have that on the Edelbrock carburetor for sure. So we're down to, we get a kit of wires, and these wires come with the spark plug end already on it. And it gives you a couple options for the old style or the new style distributor. But you got to put the caps on and put the ends to that. I left a wire to the side here just to show you. Take it around, say you're coming around. This wire was longer. I put it to where I needed. This is the last one to go on. So they'll come longer, and this one actually got cut off of one of these. So measure it to where you want. Say I'm coming around, say I want it here, say I want to cut it right there. I have these fancy this knife which works really well. Snip it off. You can just take a knife and cut it, or a razor blade or whatever. I'm gonna cut it here. I've already got that one cut, but maybe easier to see for you. Take your fancy pocket knife. My pocket knife is actually too fancy. It's a William Henry. My wife bought this for me. It's like a piece of jewelry, so I can't use it like I normally use a pocket knife. So I'm kind of careful with it, but it's a really, boy, I thank you, Ann, for my knife. Cut it around, but don't cut it through.
You didn't give props where that knife came from.
Jewel chest, Carter's Jewel Chest. If you go check out the Jewel Chest on Facebook, do not like them, okay? That's my son-in-law, and we're in kind of a competition to see who gets the most likes, and they have a little bit more than we do right now, so I'm going to call that on Josh.
Yep.
So they got some awesome stuff there. They do all kinds of knives and jewelry, of course, and some really cool stuff. I can't believe I'm doing a commercial for Chris. He owes me. So it's a Mountain Home here, and check out their Facebook page, but don't like it, okay? So you got this. You want to make sure you don't cut this centerpiece off here. Here's the end that will snap onto the distributor, and then this will go on afterwards. So you stick this in here. Make sure you fold that over. Get it in there and crimp it down. We've got a crimping tool. It's kind of a homemade. It's got the ends here, and we just welded on a pair of good old vice grips. So I'm going to put this on this one. I have not done it yet. So like I said, I'm going to fold this under here. And there's kind of a notch in there, so it goes one way, not the other. So this part goes on top, like so, if you can see that. And I'm just going to push this in a little bit to get it started. Once I get it rolling down, I don't know if you can see that, it's rolling down a little bit, so when I crimp it, it just smashes it in there. Now again, I am not the expert at this, so just because I'm doing it this way doesn't make it the way for it to do it. I'm sure there's other people that have better ideas, and
We do it the flipping way.
this is a flipping way we do it here. I put a little grease on here. Dielectric grease would be good, but I was looking for it a couple minutes ago and could not find it. So a little grease on here. You could put this on and go through first, then clamp it on and push it this way. Some people may say that's a better way to do it, and it may be, but I'm doing it this way. And it's a pain. If you get grease all over you, it gets slippery. So I push this in here as far as I can possibly get it. And what I'm going to do, I just take a Phillips screwdriver. If I come around, I can catch the inside of that. Now I want to be very careful that I don't tear the boot. So I work it around. You can kind of see it come around and come off of there, but this part of the project could take a whole 10 minutes. But make our video longer. So I pulled it around, got it in there. I didn't yank it too hard. I know it's square in there. I can look down in there. You can't see it, but I know that it's right in there. I'll be able to pull this around, snap it on. We're good to go. So again, I'm not the motor guy. I'm not even the guy that normally does this. I got some other projects I ought to be doing right now, but we have our parts for this. I think we'll show this one more time when we're done, and that'll be outside before it goes on the truck. I don't know when we're going to deliver this. We're going to try to deliver it next week if we get her.
Yep.
Is it going on? Is he picking it up, or this was, I can't remember his name.
Kevin.
Kevin?
Yep.
Kevin. And where does this go?
North Carolina.
North Carolina. So Kevin, I'm sure he's anxious. He'll have it before spring. going to North Carolina. Is he picking it up or is it going on truck?
Going on truck probably.
Going on truck, so one of our drivers, Mike, or somebody that we use will probably come pick it up. And we may just show this, driving around. That'll be a good thing. We'll drive around with it and do a live while we're driving, see how noisy that gets. So we're there, got most of the motor done. We'll go in detail over the whole car. At this point, what's most important is I stay diligent, and I'm going to start from the front and go to the back. Again, I'm working my board. I want to make sure all my bolts are tight. I want to make sure, just as I go through everything, that there's no leaks in the brake fluid, that my coolant and everything, there's no leaks there, no leaks in my valve covers. Here's something too, I left this off. These valve covers, just be aware, this will hit on the corner here with certain intakes. I mean, it's a very common problem when you're using aluminum valve covers. So I haven't ground this off yet, but make sure that you don't have just this corner of this lip hitting on this valve cover. But you can see right up in here, it's hitting there and it's hitting there. Even if I put the gasket on it, it's going to be, when I push down and tighten it, it's going to hit there a little bit. So, just an FYI, there's a lot of little things like that that you may encounter or you may not, so always be aware. So, we're to the end. We're getting there. We're almost to the end of President Obama and the 8 years that he's led our government, and we thank him for his service, but we're coming to a Trump time. So I've been putting him Trump tweet of the day versus coffee break contemplations or pass it on. It's getting close to inauguration. What do you think? Should we go with Trump tweet of the day? It's always risky now. You never know what's going to happen there. This is one we should do a poll on. we did a poll on, should we do yesterday, it's yesterday or 2 days ago. If you want to see pass it on, if you want us to read those at the end of every little video thing here, let us know. And overwhelmingly you said let's do it. Okay, how many people care about what Trump has to say? And that's not just Trump, that's President-elect Trump to you, and soon to be President Trump for all of us. This is what he's got to say today. It says, this is his tweet that he tweeted this morning. The American people, I have no doubt that we will together make America great again. There we are. We're working on it. We all have a role. We all have a purpose. We all have a job. And let's get to it. Get it done. Make America great again. I'm proud to be American. I don't know about you, but I am. So we'll see you tomorrow with a new project.